Appreciate you tuning in this morning, and this is part 2 of the series that I'm putting out, Should I Buy Cryptocurrency? So let's dive right in. Why investing in crypto will change your life. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It definitely will, and has changed multiple hundreds, if not thousands, of people's lives. It's the greatest wealth transfer in the history of our economy. And if you can time your purchases at the right place, at the right time, in the right projects, you're guaranteed with enough capital invested to become a millionaire. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's dive right in. So the adoption of technology rates over the last 50 years, we're going to look at here on this chart, but even longer, they have an S curve. That's what's known as the S curve. And so every new layer of technology, especially since the communication technology come out, starting with the telephone, the rate of adoption has increased exponentially. So if you look right here, we got the electricity, invention of electricity. It took 46 years for the chart saying 25 years taken until adopted by 25% of the US population. So it took 46 years for just 25% of the US population to adopt electricity. That's pretty sad, right? Okay, the telephone took about 35 years. The radio, about 31, 32 years. Television, about 26 years. The computer, personal computer specifically, looks like about 16 years for 25% of the population here in the U.S. to have one in their home. Mobile phones only took about 12 years. And we're talking about flip phones. The web or internet took about seven years for 25% of the U.S. population to use the internet, and smartphones only took probably about 4 years before 25% of the population had a smartphone. So as you can see, every new level of technology that has came out, the time that it takes for it to gain popularity and use case decreases, and mainly because each preceding technology helps to spread the word by communication, information, commercials, advertisement, whatever. Each new level of the communication technology we've come out with has helped to boost that next level. So why am I talking about this? Okay, I'm talking about this because if you're sitting right on top of this should be cryptocurrency or blockchain technology. And so if we look at it from that perspective, then this chart tells us that the time for 25% of the US population to adopt it is going to be shorter than that of the cell phone. All right. We can see this rate of adoption on this chart here that actually goes back to 1900 and the invention of electricity, telephone, etc. This chart actually goes up to 100% of U.S. households. So let's look at electricity here. It took, let's see, about 60 years roughly for 100% of the population here in the U.S. to have electricity. All right. But in comparison, the television only took, apparently not 100% of people have a television yet. That's pretty sad. But from 1960 to let's see, about 1980. Oops, getting ahead of myself here. Didn't take near as long for people to get a television as it did to get electricity. But the same concept we just looked at on another chart. I don't want to bore you with that information. Well, let's look at the technology adoption curve versus Bitcoin, total or crypto in general. Total crypto users is in the orange, total global internet users in white. So we are here. Technically, we are here. I was a little bit older chart, and as you can see, the is following the internet adoption trend line pretty closely, but according to our data, it is correct in showing that the adoption rate for the total crypto users is moving a little bit faster, as we can predict from the charts we've already looked at. So now you can see the importance of what I was trying to show you. And this whole video is designed just to give you a sense of encouragement in why you should buy cryptocurrency. Okay, and I'm starting with the ABCs in the series. If you hadn't watched the first one, you can jump back into it. Go watch that video and get a little bit more information. But these videos are targeted for newer investors or newer retail that are looking to get into the space or just researching should they get in the space. So I'm starting with the basics, but I'm going to be taking you on this journey that I wish somebody would have taken me on. And if I would have had somebody like this putting out this basic content starting from A to Z, to help me and give me an understanding and a confidence in my investing and my trading, then I would be a lot better off than I am now. However, my goal and this channel's goal is to help you make more money faster without making all the mistakes that so many traders make when they enter the space. And they say that 90% of people will lose 90% of their money in 90 days or less when they enter into the space. So my job is to reduce that curve. And so if you're watching that video, go ahead and give yourself a round of applause. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button so that you get all the content that I'm going to be producing to save you money, to make you money, to make you a rich person. Okay, and I want to hear all about it in the comments below. If you got any questions, any comments, any suggestions, anything you'd like to know more about specifically, I'd be glad to answer you in the comment box. I'd be glad to pop out a video based solely on the information you're interested in. But on this journey, if you're checking into this channel, you will be learning from A to Z why you should buy cryptocurrency, how to buy cryptocurrency, at what point in time on a chart to buy cryptocurrency, and you're going to gain self-confidence. You're going to gain confidence in your investment, and that's going to give you the strength to ride out the volatility, the movements from high to low without panic selling and stuff like that that really costs you money. So if that's your goal, then you're in the right place at the right time, and really appreciate you being here. Let's continue this journey together. So like I said, 2022, we're right here. All right. And we're not quite, according to this chart, at 1 billion crypto users yet. But by the year 2030, they're predicting 3.7 billion crypto users. And this is the S curve that all technology kind of follows. You can look back at like Amazon stock and see the rate of growth, just a massive rate of growth. I mean, Tesla, eBay, anything like that have just seen massive levels of growth. And in anything like that, like you have, let's look at this chart. So you have the 2.5% and of people who basically invested at that time frame, and those are the innovators, those are the creators of the product. And then you have the next level of investors, and that's only 10%, and they're the early adopters. Okay, these are basically like venture capitalists, early investors, and they're the ones who are going to see the most gains on any investment they jump into. All right, and so you may look at the Bitcoin price now and be like, "Wow, am I too late? Dang, I wish I could have bought it at 1,000 or 5,000 or whatever." And that's totally understandable, totally fine. But guess what? You're still right here. you're still right here to come into the space. You're still in the very early majority. You're in the lower half of the early majority of adopters in cryptocurrency. Okay, so you're still early. You have plenty of time to get in here, learn a little bit, and get situated in your position with your money and just ride this wave, because it is coming. There's a massive wave on the horizon. It's basically like a tsunami of economic movement into this space, and it has already created so many millionaires from practically nothing, and there's many more millionaires to be made. So take hope in this, knowing that you're in the right place at the right time. You're early. All right. You know, obviously you kick the can down the road a little bit longer, and you hesitate and you have doubts. I mean, you're going to be up in this section, and then you definitely don't want to be in the laggard section. There's the laggards are basically the ones who they'll not make any money in it. They'll just basically be an end user. They'll be a consumer. Okay, just like say Amazon. Like we're using Amazon, and it's great. It's a great service. It's a great technology. It's a great platform, and I love Amazon. But I'm just a consumer. I wish I would have been down here an early adopter or early majority and investing in Amazon, not just being a consumer of Amazon. Then I would have, I would have owned a piece of Amazon that would have been worth quite a bit of money. So let's try to avoid that mistake again and not look back and say, hey, I wish if I would have did this. Oh man. Okay. So that's where we're at on the adoption rate of cryptocurrency. All right. Now, and it's not just my opinion, let's look at the article here. The cryptocurrency adoption curve is the fastest in human history. This article is back from June 23, 2021. Still very relevant. Same concept of a chart here. As with all technology, there's an adoption curve to see where we are in terms of adoption, also commonly known as the S-curve. As we get increasingly connected, the technology adoption S-curve gets steeper and steeper, and people embrace new technology faster and easier. Okay, this is exactly what we're talking about. Exactly what we're talking about. So as you can see, even here with the Bitcoin versus Ethereum, the time it took from the conception or inception of Bitcoin, the S curve in that space alone, as you can see, versus Ethereum when it came out, look how much faster it became adopted. And see, that's going to change too, because even the technology of Ethereum right now, if you don't know anything about it, Ethereum compared to Bitcoin is faster. Yes, it does have a smart contract platform, but the gas fees to use it, to send it, are just absolutely ridiculous. And while it may be a little faster than Bitcoin, it's not much, maybe 3 times faster. I have to pull up some data real quick. Don't know it off the top of my head, but it's not very fast at all. Okay, so you have newer projects that have come out, have a much lower market cap, that you can invest in and see a greater rate of return versus some of these two giants. All right. So I'm not saying you can hop in here and become a millionaire on Ethereum, Bitcoin. Now, as I move through the content that I'm creating, we will be discussing some projects that will allow you to see like massive gains in the next year. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Massive gains. All right. But I just want to introduce you to the space, give you the confidence you need to put your money where my mouth is, and that is in cryptocurrency. I mean, it's just so much data out here, so much data, and I don't want to go over the same data over and over. So basically, I'm trying to bring to you things that you may not hear from other YouTubers, and just, my main goal is just save you money and make you the most. So comparing Bitcoin and crypto to the internet in 1997. Bitcoin is still in its early stages of adoption at this point. Currently, less than 2% of the world uses Bitcoin. Given the world population of over 7 billion, this is a very small number, with about 130 million people who use Bitcoin today. Bitcoin has been called a bubble, a flop, and a host of names in the past. In the same way, the rise of the internet was dismissed in the late 90s. The current growth pattern of Bitcoin puts it on par with the growth pattern of the internet in 1997. So basically, all the naysayers, the doubters, the fear mongers, the people who are scared of it, the people, especially the older people who don't really understand the technology, and with such a low risk appetite that they just wouldn't fool with it. They're always going to be those type of people talking about all the new technology. All right. You had tons of people back in, like this article just says, is that you had it was dismissed in the late 90s. The rise of the internet was dismissed in the late 90s. All right. Every new technology is going to have naysayers. So don't listen to them. Look at the data. Do your own research. All right. Now, look, back in 1997, the internet only had about 130 million users. Absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. I mean, in just, let's see, 10, 15 years, that has like multiplied drastically. Okay. Um, so as time goes on, we can see, you got internet adoption rate, Bitcoin price this is a little bit older chart. It's showing the Bitcoin price in 10,000. It's actually, we're here in 2022, and it's pretty accurate because the Bitcoin price right now did have an all-time high of around $68,000. Right now we're back down to the 30s just for a recent dip from Russia and Ukraine, and obviously the inflation that's going on worldwide, which is also a great reason to be investing in cryptocurrency. Big blockchain technology is a great protection from inflation, even if we do see a little volatility here in the next, well, we have seen some in the last couple of months, but we may see a little bit continued. And we're going to go look at the overall long story of Bitcoin and why, even with the ups and downs in the smaller time frames, in the long term, it only ever always goes only up. All right. So this basic chart, which tends to be quite accurate from what we looked at, I'm sure you agree, is we're looking to hit $100,000 Bitcoin here, probably somewhere in by the end of 2023. Like I said, the dash line is the internet adoption rate. All right, and since the newer technologies move a little bit faster than that, we are going to look to see it be a little bit above this line. And so you have many analysts and experts predicting the price of Bitcoin to be $100,000 this year, and if not even more. So like I said, right now is a great time to hop in before things get too crazy. And I want to take you over here to this is a monthly candlestick chart. So every one of these candlesticks is 1 month in time. And this chart here is going back to almost the beginning of Bitcoin, when it was like, 0.06 cent. And from its inception, it's rose, Lord have mercy. I can't even read those numbers, but as you can see right here, let's see, 65,894,122%. Absolutely insane. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, but what I pulled you over here to look at is that once this thing caught some traction, and it started producing what we call a trend line. So this is just basically a line that the trend follows. And as you can see, even in the midst of these massive up and down movements and the volatility in between, that as long as you buy, and this is a key, as long as you were to buy close to these close to the trend line, even if you see some volatility, you're still going to go up. So the whole point of this video is to give you the confidence to know that cryptocurrency is only ever always going to go up. The same with internet adoption users, electricity, mobile phones, All that. We looked at the chart. So there's no doubt in my mind, and there shouldn't be any doubt in your mind by now at this point in the video, that this is a new technology and that is going up and up and up and up and up. All right. So I want to just leave you with one simple concept. If you hadn't watched my first video, I want to go back over it because it's very important. Okay, now maybe you've decided, okay, all right, I am going to buy some crypto. Okay, cool. That's great. I'm really proud of you. It's going to be one of the best decisions you'll ever make in your life. Looking back in 5-10 years, I mean, you'll be so glad. I mean, it's going to change your whole family, your life, your future, everything. If you just buy and hold, you don't even have to worry about trading. You're just looking to be investing. This is the simplest, easiest strategy to get into early. But let me explain something to you. You do not want to buy these tops. You don't want to buy these tops, okay? You don't want to buy these tops. You want to buy as close to that trend line as you can. Now, timing is impossible to perfectly time the market. Nobody can do it. You're just not going to do it. And that's fine. We're not trying to be greedy. We're just trying to invest, put our money in something that has a great future ahead of it. So, what I want to point out, though, is that even if you were to, and people do it all the time, follow, get in FOMO at the top here, and, it drops down to the bottom here, like an 80% deduction, reduction, correction, whatever you want to call it, down, okay? I'd be pretty upset, you know what I'm saying, regardless. If you pop 10,000 in right here, right now we're looking like your investment went down to 2,000. All right. But the key is, and that's what the beauty of this chart is in this video, is to give you confidence. So no matter what's going on in the short term, that as long as you hold on to your money, even today, from that buy point, you would be at like a 35x your money. So if you put in $10,000 right here, even through a massive dip that almost obliterated your portfolio, as long as you didn't panic sell and you held on and rode the wave, look, bro, you would be at a 35x. That's $10,000 turned into 353, 3,500. Yeah, $350,000 off a 10 grand investment. I mean, there's nothing in this world, there's no asset class in the world that can do that. That is life-changing money right there. And it really would have hit that point in about 86 bars, 86 time frames. So you're talking about, are we on the monthly? Let's see, 12, 86 divided by 12. Somebody that's good at math off the top of their head, you can figure that out. But 86 months, all right, and what that breaks down to years. But let's look at what would have happened if you would know what you're doing and the extent of what I'm telling you in this video to buy as close to the trend line. And it don't matter, like I said, you're not going to be able to time it. Okay, the absolute bottom of the market right here, yay. You're not, and you might not be watching this video or getting this information at that point in time. But what you can do is you can go and pull up a chart and see how far away, like if you're watching this video at a point in time where the chart's looking like this, you'd be able to go back and basically look at something like this once I showed you how. I mean, this is just a basic chart here, and you can kind of see, well, I heard that it's not good to buy, at the top. So let's just wait and see what happens, and look, if your patience, if you had patience and your patience would have paid off if you waited on a dip, and it got back closer to the trend line. So we looked at what would happen even if you bought the tip, the peak, and as long as you held on, you still would have been all right in the long term. But let's look what happens if you buy in these regions and, where you'd be at now. So you're looking at, I don't know what kind of math came up earlier. Let's see what happened. 34. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So yeah, if you would have bought in the right place, close the trend line, you'd be looking at 182, 190 times your money. And if you did a $10,000 investment, that is almost $2 million you'd be looking at if you bought in the right place at time and held on for about 4 years. Actually, let's see. If you bought right here in this dip, and we'll just move it up to roughly the body of the candle, come up to where we are today, and really where it was previously the first time it hit there. You would turn that in $1.75 million. So $1,750,000 off $10,000 investment in 66 months, which is like 5.5 years on the head. But it doesn't take that long. It doesn't take that long to make crazy gains. You could have bought it here and look, you would have had 81 times 10,000, 81x. So that would be like $810 million. Over 800, I mean, I'm sorry, over $800,000 off a $10,000 investment had you just bought close to the trend line and waited like 2 years. 2 years to be almost a millionaire off $10,000 without lifting a finger. Without lifting a finger. There's not another asset class in the history of this whole entire world. There's nothing out there right now that can change your financial life, your financial future, like cryptocurrency can. Okay? The key is to buy close to the trend line and hold. As you're holding, yeah, you can learn more about trading and you know, you can get into that, but the best, safest play is to buy and hold, you know, to buy and hold. And the earlier you get in, the more money you're going to make. Okay. As we can see, the earlier you get in, the more money you can make. Okay. So if you get in now, I'm going to tell you, depending on when you're watching this video, right here in February of 2022, we are really close to the trend line. To be honest with you, I don't think we're going to get much closer to the trend line. So now is a perfect time to enter the market. And you can buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not a bad investment. If you want to see massive gains, it's going to take a little bit of time and research to find out what project to hop into. But there's nothing wrong with buying Bitcoin, because if it's going to go to $100,000 this year, you're looking at roughly, you know, tripling your money. If you ride with me in these videos and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the content that I'm going to be putting out, we are going to be progressing to how to buy it, where to buy it, and most importantly, what to buy. All right. And you don't even have to do the research. I've done the research for you. I'm not paid by any of these cryptocurrency projects. This is stuff that I've done on my own research and my own time, and that I just want to share with the world, that I want to help you know, whoever's watching these videos to excel in life and to increase their financial standing, to change their life, change their kids' life, you know. But yeah, crypto's the future. So you came to this video with a simple question: should I buy cryptocurrency? And I'm hoping that for your sake, that now at this time of the video, that you can answer this question with a resounding yes. All right, I'll be looking for you guys in the next video. Appreciate you watching. Check you next time.